now turn the time over to my colleague, Doug Allen, a professor of international business at the University of Denver, who will join us for closing remarks. Thank you so much, Doug.
Well, thank you, Gina, and thank you, Jamie, for a great presentation that brought back many happy memories of our times together over there and the great benefit the students gained in kind of understanding your concept of community engagement. So what a rich series of sessions we've had this morning, and unfortunately we're coming to the end of that series, but you know, the test of a good conference is only in part how good the sessions were, and these were fantastic sessions. The next test is the action that results from these sessions. And so we look forward to hearing from all of you out in the field how these sessions have impacted your approach to international business and your thinking about international business as a career. You know, we've covered in a short period of time connectivity, AI, climate change, trade and compliance, and not to mention a visit to Uganda. And our speakers have done a wonderful job of reinforcing with concrete examples the principles we tried to highlight in the theme for the conference this time: opportunities and responsibilities associated with our interconnected world. Our speakers have done a great job in also helping us understand the fast changing nature of our planet and the need for imagination, thinking ahead about where we're moving as opposed to simply reflecting on where we've been. At times, the tragic disruption of war and pandemic, the existential challenge of global climate change, all of these embedded in a powerful array of new technologies can seem overwhelming, even tempting maybe to some to question the future of international business as a career and as a practice. However, the clear message from each of these speakers is that these challenges can be successfully addressed, and therein lies our opportunity and our responsibility. The very rapid change and disruption so eloquently discussed today invites entirely new solutions to very challenging problems. I'm optimistic that a new generation of global business leaders represented at this conference can be part of the solution to these global challenges, and it'll require an exercise of responsibility, imagination, and certainly an embrace of the emerging reality of our interdependent planet. I'd like to conclude with a quote from astronaut Michael Collins, who was, of course, the command module pilot on Apollo 11, the flight that landed the first humans on the moon. After he got back, he was the first of the 3 astronauts to write a book, and it was called The View from 100,000 Miles. And he described the experience that he had kind of traversed as he made his voyage. In part, he writes, "I really believe that if the political leaders of the world could see their planet from a distance of 100,000 miles, their outlook would be fundamentally changed. That all-important border would be invisible, that noisy argument suddenly silenced. The tiny globe would continue to turn, serenely ignoring its subdivisions, presenting a unified facade that would cry out for unified treatment. I think the view from 100,000 miles could be invaluable in getting people together to work out joint solutions by causing them to realize that the planet we share unites us in a way far more basic and far more important than differences in skin color or religion or economic system. The pity of it is that so far, the view from 100,000 miles has been the exclusive property of a handful of test pilots rather than the world leaders who need this new perspective or the poets who might communicate it to them." Actually, I'd say that Michael Collins is a pretty good poet who's done a pretty good job of communicating that reality to us. And our speakers have helped fill in this puzzle as well. Hopefully, this morning's session has whetted your appetite to build a global component into your career, and in so doing, enrich your future and perhaps the future of our global community in the process. Now, I'd like to introduce Haylie Patrick, who served as project manager for the International Business and You Conference this year. Without her work and without her wisdom, we would not be here enjoying the fruits of this amazing day. We all owe Haylie a big thanks for all of the work that she's put in to make this conference a success. So over to you, Haylie, for some concluding thoughts.
Well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate the kind words, and I completely agree. I think just in terms of unification and how our world is becoming much more interconnected, I think it's a really important topic, and just time to all come together and talk about all of these different topics and how we can improve the world through business and through trade. And that means coming together and working together. So just to kind of give you a little bit of background on me, my name is Haylie Patrick. I am a student, undergraduate student at the University of Colorado, Denver. And I'm majoring in international business and management with a minor in honors and leadership. And I plan on graduating in May, which is very exciting. But I am the project manager for this conference, and I am a current intern at the World Trade Center Denver. So if anyone has any questions or would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, feel free to do that. I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat here soon. But it has been a great experience just to connect with everyone and manage many different people and stakeholders and kind of bring a vision and bring it to life. And that has just been really rewarding for me. And it has truly been a privilege just to work with everyone here at the World Trade Center Denver and to work alongside Karen Friedhoff at the University of Colorado, Denver. And it's just been a great time. In terms of my backstory, I actually graduated high school back in 2015. And I actually worked for an international company for about 5 years, which actually brought me around the world and really ignited that passion for international business and culture and language and people. And it's just been a really great and insightful experience going to school and learning about all of the different careers that I could go down. And initially, I wanted to kind of go down the diplomatic route, but I quickly learned that business is business makes the world go around, and there's opportunities all over the world. And personally, I would love to be involved in economic development or trade, or even maybe the Olympic movement. I was an athlete growing up, but just acknowledging that there's opportunities and responsibilities as an aspiring international business professional, I think is an important takeaway for today's conference. And without further ado, now that you know a little bit about my backstory and my perspective as a student, I just want to say thank you all for being here, and thank you for chiming in and attending and engaging in the chat. It's been really great to see people from all over the world attending, from South Africa, from France, from Germany, from all over Colorado. There's a lot of international presence, which is great. So put your LinkedIn in the chat so we can all connect. As we've been saying before, this whole conference, it's becoming a very interconnected business world, which has its benefits. So next up is, I know you've all been waiting for this, but we are going to announce our giveaway winners for our 3 prizes of the conference. Thank you for all entering your names and emails into the chat. We did a random number generator, so we've got winners lined up for each of these prizes, and I will go ahead and announce those right now. So in the beginning of our conference, we gave away a World Trade Day ticket to our 2023, I believe it's 50th anniversary World Trade Day event, which is a very exciting event. I attended this last year, and there's a bunch of speakers and international business and trade professionals from all over the world that travel to be here. And it's a really great experience. You get to network afterwards. And that will be taking place May 2023. And our lucky winner for that free ticket will be Jason Dahman from MSU Denver. So that is very exciting. You will have a great time. Make sure to mark that in your calendar. We will go ahead and email you after this conference ends. All right, and then next up are 2 subscriptions to the Trade Passport program. This is from NASBITE, and this is thankfully provided by the Institute for International Business, Center for International Business Education and Research over at CU Denver. So thank you for providing that. We've got 2 full-year subscriptions for this, and those will go to Jeet Patak. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Jeet Patak from CU Denver. And then our second winner will be Jerry Ray Hollingsworth. So very exciting. I think that's a great resource for you guys. All right, and then finally, our CIT training course, which a lot of you have signed up for. This is provided by the World Trade Center Denver. This training course applies to the Certificate of International Trade. And like we mentioned before, there's many, many different training courses you can sign up for. This is, I believe, a $200 value. Great insight. And if you continue down this road, you can actually earn that Certificate of International Trade over the course of a semester. So please ask us or email us if you have any more questions about that. But that free training course will go to Hector Galindo from Metro State University. So congratulations, everyone. And just to remind you, there will be also a free ebook, whoever signed up for that, from Jamie Van Leeuwen being sent out via email. And then we've got some internship opportunities given by Kevin Kachitsa for sales and marketing. So anybody who filled out that interest form, feel free to follow up with us, but also Kevin will be attending the networking session coming up, which brings me to my next point. We invite you all to the following networking session that starts in about just a couple minutes. And the first 10 minutes actually will be hosted by a few of our speakers. So we've got Laura Nolan from earlier today, who spoke on international trade and compliance. She's going to be talking about career pathways, and she would love to meet you. So you can join her room, or you can join Kevin's room, who will be talking more about those sales and marketing internship opportunities. And then we've got Jamie Van Leeuwen with international development. And then we've also got Karen Gerwitz in the World Trade Center Denver team in the main Zoom room. So if you have any questions for internships or what we are about in our mission, feel free to ask us. So we invite you all. That link will be provided in the chat here in the next minute or so. And it's a separate Zoom link to enter that networking session. So it's a great way to all network and get to know each other. I think you can never have too many connections in the business world. So please take a look at the chat, and we'll meet you in the Zoom room. Thank you all so much for attending, and we will see you next year at International Business NU 2023.